Now that we are fast approaching summer, I thought I would make myself some pyjama shorts, and I also wanted to have a go at making a fake fly for the front of them. This is hacking my Piper pyjama pattern. I've made 2 pairs already and they seem to have gone quite well. So I'm going to show you all of the alterations you need to make these little shorts. This one has some sweet little lace detailing at the bottom. It's got the drawstring tie, and then you can see the fake fly at the front there, which is super easy to draft onto the pattern. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. I also made myself a little polka dot pair, which actually match this weird little top I drafted the other day. So it's got some sweet little ties. I'm basically just trying to play around with ideas for pyjama tops, because one day I would love to have a pyjama top pattern available for you guys. This one is super easy because it's kind of just all one piece. Well, 3 pieces really, and it's got the 2 fronts and the back, and there's no join for the shoulder. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it. I love the shape of the hem. I've got a curved hem and it's faced, like there's a facing that goes all the way around. But I thought it was quite fun, so let me know what you guys think of it. It could probably very easily be a short sleeve top as well. I seem to be having endless ideas of patterns I want to make at the moment, but not deciding which one I want to fully go with and start, you know, really refining. So I'm in a bit of a limbo with my patterns at the moment, not knowing which one to make next. There will be lots coming, it's just I don't know which one to make first. I also think I need to find someone to help me grade the patterns, because that would help speed the process up a bit. So if anyone knows anyone that grades patterns that could help me out, obviously I'll pay them, then let me know. So I'm going to get on and show you how I make these pyjama shorts. So starting out, this is the front of the pattern. I'm going to size up a size just so that I've got a bit more fabric to work with and move around in. I kind of want to go for a bit more of an oversized look with the shorts, so I definitely recommend sizing up in the shorts. So the first thing I did was decide how short I wanted the shorts, and I went for a 5-inch inseam, which is quite a long pair of shorts, but if you want a shorter pair, I'd go for 3 inches. I might make a 3-inch one today with you. This lace pair is a 3-inch inseam. So I'd say the 3-inch is a good length for the shorts. So to measure the length of the inseam, you just find your size that you're going to use and you just literally measure down it. Make a mark, which is 5 inches there. And then I use my Pattern Master or anything where you can get a right angle. And I use the grain line as a guide to square off the 5 inches along there. So that's when you get your new 5-inch inseam. But if you want 3 inches, you just do the same but higher up. I'm going to trace this off, but I'm going to leave a gap underneath the new length because we're going to add a chunky hem to fold up into it. When you're tracing off, you also want to leave a good amount next to the inside front seam here because we're going to add the fake fly. So I'm just tracing the size above my usual size, so I'm tracing off size C here, and I'm a classic size 8, I would say. Don't forget to trace off the notches. So trace the shape off, and now there's a few changes you're going to want to make. The first one is, because these are trousers, they're not really designed to be shorts, you're going to want to take in the inseam by about 0.3 centimetres, just a little bit. If you're doing really short shorts, you don't really need to take it in at all, but I find the longer you make the shorts, the more you need to taper that inside leg in a bit. So we're just going to taper that in a little bit. And we'll do the same to the back when we come to do that. I want to add a hem of around 4 centimetres, so I'm going to add 5 centimetres onto the bottom. And then this isn't going to fit inside here perfectly, so to make it fit, we're just going to draw 1 centimetre where we're going to fold the top of that hem. So we've got that as a guide. And we're going to fold everything along this line. And then we'll fold back down again with that 1 centimetre fold. So we folded it up once and then down, and we're going to follow the line of the original shorts underneath, and then that gets the line for the 1 centimetre. Then we're going to find the line for the big turn up by just following the same short line, and now the hem will fit perfectly inside the shorts. Now we're going to draft the fly, so to do that we want to find this notch on the centre front, and we're going to draw a parallel line to this centre front, and we're going to draw 4 centimetres away. So from this front notch we're just going to shape it up into the shape of the bottom of a fly. A little bit like that. And then at the top here we're just going to use our pattern master and square off the top. While you're at the top you also want to make a new notch 1 centimetre away from the centre front, basically where your seam allowance would usually be. But that's going to be a really useful notch later on. Another change we need to make if you want to do the drawstring is you need to change the position of the buttonhole. So for one leg the buttonhole is going to be fine as it is there, but for the other we're going to need to move it along further, just so it sort of tricks the eye into thinking it looks central. So this buttonhole is 3.5 centimetres away. I'm going to do the second one 5.5 centimetres away. So we've got 2 different buttonholes, whichever one is the furthest away we're going to fold the fly underneath towards that side. I think that's all of the changes for the front. We are going to shorten the pocket bag by about 2 centimetres just to make sure it fits inside. So that's another change you're going to want to make. I will list all of the changes in the description bar down below. There we've got our front short piece. Now I just need to trace off the back piece, and I'm just going to continue that line for the new length all the way along this pattern. Then I can trace the back off, again making sure to leave room at the hem, and the only change you need to make on the back is adding the same tapered amount on the inside leg. Taper that up to the top. Then we'll just repeat what we did with the hem for the front. Draw up that hem again, so just starting by folding the larger part of the turn up into the shorts, and trace off the line of the short, and then fold that 1 centimetre top bit down, and again following the same line of the shorts. And when we unfold it we now have a trued up hem. The fabric today, I'm going to cut up this old H&M dress and use the fabric from this because I think a white pair would be really nice. Dress was always way too big for me. I got it in the sale a long time ago. I've got everything cut out. I've just traced off the buttonhole placements, and I've just tried a new technique for the buttonhole, and that is to back it. Instead of interfacing the buttonhole, I just put some of the same scrap fabric from the material I'm using behind it, and then I trimmed it away close to the back of the buttonhole. So I'm going to try that with this, because I don't like when interfacing you can see where the interfacing ends and things like that. I'm going to use reasonably large pieces so that it doesn't miss the buttonhole. I'm going to add a little bit of fray stop to those buttonholes. You don't have fray stop, I'm pretty sure this is just PVA glue. I'm going to add that to both sides of this. A few hours later I'm just going to open up these buttonholes, I'm going to go ahead and add the pockets. I won't chat through adding the pockets because if you want to see how I do that, then you can go and watch my full tutorial for the Piper pyjama trousers because it's exactly the same. So I'll film what I'm doing, but I will speed it up a bit. Both side pockets are in. I'm now going to add the back pieces on top. So we're just going to stitch the outside seams and finish those with an overlocker. And then I will show you the next step because this is a bit different to making the trousers. The legs are now attached at the outer seam. And now I'm going to iron and press up the hem just because it's much easier to do this while it's flat rather than doing it last when it's all together. So I'm going to take it over to the iron. I'm going to press up 1 centimetre to start with and then press 4 centimetres up, and that'll give us our hem ready to hem when we come to that. Get yourself moving. Get yourself moving. Get yourself moving and you'll be okay. Now that we've got the hem turned up, we can unfold it, and we're going to place the shorts good sides facing, and we're just going to stitch that inseam together. You can have that 1 centimetre folded under still, you don't have to unfold that. And then we'll go and finish that on the overlocker. Now stitch that inseam together and fold it back up. The hem ready to be stitched. You could stitch it down now or you could stitch it at the end. I'm just going to stitch it at the end. So now we need to attach both legs together down the centre, front and back. So to do that you just have one of your pieces turned the right way round and the other leg can stay the wrong way round, and we're going to put the one that has the right sides facing us inside that leg, and we're just going to match up the centre front and centre back seams. And then when it comes to the centre front, you just literally match that fly shape together. And then when we stitch around, we just go all the way around the edge with a 1 centimetre seam allowance. It's gone very gloomy outside. I think it's about to start raining, which is ironic seeing as we're making a pair of summery shorts. But anyway, I've now stitched the centre, front and back together, and now I'm going to take this over to the ironing board and I'm going to use those notches I made at the top with the centre front, and I'm going to fold the fly over towards the side that has the furthest away buttonhole at the top, and that is what's going to give us our fake fly. Open up the centre back seam as well, and then this is the buttonhole that's further away, so we're going to open up this top bit, sort of pinch it up like that, get the fly up, and then we're going to make sure it's meeting at both of these notches at the top here, and then it can fold towards the side. You then want to pin that into place so it doesn't move anywhere, and then we're going to top stitch on top of the fly. I think this buttonhole could have been a little bit further out, so I'm just going to go all the way down there and curve it off and finish with some back tack stitches. Hey mama, could you get up soon? I get so cold. Now I've got the fake fly stitched on. I also stitch across it at the top here just to hold it into place. But now I can go and fold over the top and thread through the elastic, and we're pretty much done. Morning star clear and true, your honesty could pierce my heart I've put the elastic in the top as normal, and now I'm going to go and hem the legs, and this should be nice and easy because we did the ironing before, so we're just stitching it down now. So there we go, we have a finished pair of boxer shorts. I will try these on for you in a second so you can see what they look like. But we've got the fake fly sitting in the front there. You could add some buttons if you wanted onto the front, and then a little chunky hem going on at the bottom. So here's what the shorts look like on. This is with a 3-inch inseam, which I think is the perfect length for some pyjama shorts. Got their pockets in the side. I've made a few without pockets, and I definitely think it's worth adding the pockets. It takes a little bit longer to make, but it is worth it because it's so nice to have pockets. And I think adding the fake fly just adds a bit more interest to the shorts, a bit more going on. Definitely going to make some more pyjamas with the fake fly front on as well. I'll show you what the little lacy ones look like as well. I chose the wrong day to wear black pants. But this is what they look like with some lace trim, just as an idea. So there we go, I hope this video has helped if you are wanting to make a pair of pyjama shorts this summer. In regards to the size, when I said you should size up, I meant you should size up the size, but I would keep the elastic measurement the same as your usual elastic measurement that you would take. I hope you're all having a great day, and I will see you in my next video.